Welcome to April's Leetcode Challenge. Today's problem is beautiful arrangement 2. Given two integers n and k, you need to construct a list which contains n different positive integers ranging from 1 to n and obeys the following requirement. Suppose this list is a1, a2, a3, all the way to an. Then the list a1 minus a2, the absolute value, and a2 minus a3 has exactly k distinct integers. If there are multiple answers, print any of them or return any of them. So say that we had the number 3, we can have the output of 1, 2, 3 because we already know that we have a list that with like 3 distinct integers. And if we want to get the differences to be 1 for all of them, we can see that the way to do that is just to put them all in order. So it's like 1, 1 would be the difference. Now say that we had up to 5 digits, right? Here this would be n equals 5. And say we know that k has to be less than n. So say that k equals 4. That would be the maximum k that we could have, right? How would we construct this array? Well, it's kind of a zigzag pattern here, right? It would be like 1, go to the end, 5, then 2, then 4, then 3. This would be the maximum. And we can see here where the differences would be like 4, 3, 2, 1. So this kind of maximizes how many different k's that we can have, but it's always going to be less than n. Now what about if n equals or k equals 3? Then it becomes a little trickier, but if you think about it carefully, if we just start with like 1, 2 and just do the same pattern at this point, say 2 to 5, then 3, then 4, this would be k equals 3, right? Because this is one difference. This would be 3, 2, and we know at the very end this would be 1. So that kind of gives us a little pattern here. What we can do is just get n minus k numbers all the way up to whatever this value is, and then at that point we'll do this zigzag pattern to get the k amount of differences, or k amount absolute differences at that point. So if we had like whatever long number this is, it would be n O of n time, because we just go up to the point where it's n minus k. Then we start this zigzag pattern by keeping I guess we'll have like a direction integer that's going to flip every single time, and we'll have a difference that's going to subtract from k 1 every single loop. So let's see if that works. What we'll do is first initialize an output, and we'll have I for I in range of 1 through n, but keep in mind we have to minus k here because we want to go up to the point where there's going to be k differences. Now if it's 1, then we just want to go from 1 to n plus 1, right? So make sure to put a plus 1 here. Now assuming that we have some k, what we'll do is say for I in range of k, let's initialize some variables here, the direction, which will start with the positive 1, as well as the difference. Now what's the difference going to be here? The difference is going to start with k, because that's as many differences that we want. So that just starts with k. And what we'll do is add to our output, get the very last digit here, whatever we have at this point, and what we're going to do is add to that the I. No, we don't need I guess we're keeping track of differences, so that would just be that plus the difference times the direction, right? Because that's going to go, yeah, so that's going to be a direction. Now we just flip our direction to go the opposite way now. So we'll multiply by -1, and we'll subtract our difference by -1 here. And that's going to allow us to make sure that our numbers are within the range of 1 through n. Finally, we just return our output, and let's see if that works. So that does look like it's working, so let's submit it. And there we go, accepted. Time complexity wise, it's O of n, and we use constant space because this is it. The output that shouldn't count as space. All right, this was a pretty hard problem, but once you figure out that kind of zigzag pattern, I think it's fairly intuitive to come to this conclusion, but it definitely is not an easy problem here. It's pretty difficult. So, all right, thanks for watching my channel. Remember, do not trust me. I know nothing.